Mic check, mic check. We good? We made it, baby. College football week 1 is back. And the Tailgate here on Pub Sports Radio is the place to be for your Saturday college football betting action. This show, I'm going to let you know off the top, it's going to be a little different. We're going to be rapid fire. I'm going to have a bunch of cappers coming in. There's no fluff, okay? There's no, twinkle toes. There's no pea-footing around. We're going to get straight to the action. We're going to give you our best bets. We're going to find ways to get paid, and we're going to attack those bookies on Saturdays. Shout out to you guys in the chat coming in early and often, man. Rodney, Craig, Rebecca, Dave, Tom Leach, Chip Pilar. Seeing everybody coming back out of the woodworks after the dog days of summer. We're here. We made it. Week 1. Let's get paid. Thank you guys for showing up. If you can, real quick, hit the like button, share the video. Let's get this thing popping. Let's get everyone in here. But like I said, this is rapid fire. I already am running out of time. We don't have time to sit here and make this fluff, so I'm going to get straight to it. For this show on Saturdays, I'm going to have 2 guys with me. I know you saw one of them yesterday on Betting with the Bag. The other one you've seen here. Anytime I get the opportunity to do something, he's my anchor. I love capping with him. We're going to dominate this season. Let me go ahead and introduce him real quick. My guy, Moose Money Bets.
Oh, what's going on, Daby? Hey, don't sell yourself short. Nobody fluffs better than Gabby out there, bud.
Hey, tell you what, at least we started this one with the mic on, right?
That's true.
That's true, man. Hey, I got to say, tell everybody, I saw all the capping you did. When people say they put hours into capping, Moose puts hours into capping. And when I say hours, I mean hours into capping. This dude has a write-up that's like 7 pages long for each game.
No, well, don't sell me short. It is how long is it? It's 29 pages. It is 29 pages.
29 pages. So shout out to Moose, man, ready to rock. We got more people coming in the chat right now. Birdie, that's my guy right there. Birdie, I'm excited for NFL season with you, Birdie. Lamont Williams, great capper right there also. Clutch coming in, man. All you guys. I want to make sure and hit y'all. But like I said, we got about an hour and a half for this show, and I want to hit not only every game, but I want to hit every capper's best bet that I can. If you guys have best bets in the chat, go ahead and drop them. And on this show, going forward on Saturdays, I want to see some of you guys in the chat on screen, okay? I want you to pop on here, tell us how we're getting paid, and pop off. Might not happen yet today, but I'm going to get you guys in here. But I tell you what, Moose, I'm fluffing right now. I say I'm not going to fluff. I'm fluffing right now.
Told you. Nobody.
We got one other anchor. And this guy swept the board yesterday on Betting with the Bag. 3-0. And if I'm not mistaken, he started this college football season 7-1. I will check that when he gets on here, but he is already 7-1. Everything's been posted on Twitter. Everything's been given out on Betting with the Bag. He's been getting you guys paid. My dude, Wine Time Sports.
Yes, sir. What up, fellas? Happy Saturday, man. Waking up today feeling like it's Christmas morning, man, like a little kid. Stoked to be here with you guys to talk about college football, man.
Dude, I'm absolutely pumped. Wine Time. 7-1. Is that how we started this season?
Actually, 9-1. 9-1 at 0.7 or plus 7.9 units. Average line of minus 110. Took an L on the over in the Southern Utah and Utah game on Thursday. Other than that, we've been lights out. We've been on kind of not the public side. We've been fading the public in quite a couple of these games. Been looking at these matchups and found some good angles early on. It's kind of hard to find some angles early on. Doing all this research in the offseason, kind of like what you said, Cab, about Moose, man. It's just like do all this research and it really pays off.
It does, man. I'm glad to see you cashing early. This is what I was talking about with this show, though. You guys might not be able to see backstage, but I can. And we've already got another guy who is ready to fire. So in just a second, I'm going to bring him up. I want to hit the chat one more time. My dude, Nasty Nate, he said he hit an 8-leg parlay and a 10-leg parlay last night. Shout out to you, Nasty Nate. Way to get that money. Jimmy the Bag rolling in the chat. Good to see you, Jimmy. Just touching on, been winning on Betting with the Bag. If you guys haven't been tuning in, we even getting paid. Shout out to my dude, Jimmy, with that stinky shirt that he's been wearing for several days.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
wash it. Don't wash it, Jimmy. Don't wash it. But like I said, I already got a capper in the background. Guys, we're going to hit every game. Moose, Winetine, and me, we will hit every game. But as these cappers come in, I'm going to bring them up, and we're going to let them give their best bet or their best bets if they have best bets, and we're going to get paid. This guy right here, one of the best college football cappers there is in the game. There's no question about that. I wish that I did more content with this guy, but I'm so excited to be doing it now. Shout out to my dude coming in right here, Guns Picks.
I knew it.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Bong,
Let's
bong,
go,
bong.
Guns.
College football is back, baby. And Wine Time said exactly my thoughts and my sentiments. This is my Christmas day. It is awesome. I like right now as I'm talking, the hairs on my arms are standing up because I know I'm going to be from 12 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Indulging and bleeding out of my eyeballs, sweating bets in college football. And guess what? I can't think of anything better in my entire life that could. This is why we live, man. Fuck, I'm so excited. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cry.
He said I'm gonna cry. Hey, Guns, I've been in the same boat as you, man. Last night I could not sleep, and I thought I'd be real tired this morning.
I'm on 4 hours of sleep. I'm on like a pot of coffee. I ran laps. I was doing like drills, like I was doing 2-a-days back in high school. I was hitting the bag. I'm ready.
Getting ready for season. Let's go, Guns.
Let's go.
If you're ready, Guns, not to put you on the spot, but what would be a couple of the games you want to talk about? Because I'm going to hand it to you first. I'll intro these games for you, and I'm going to hand it off to you. You're going to be the guy that sets this thing on the tee and kicks it off for us here on the tailgate. You are going to get us started on Saturday mornings, my dude. What would be the first game that you want to go into?
All right, I talked about this on Shark and the Gun yesterday, but I will bring this up again because this is a new crowd. This is a must hit on this one. South Dakota State versus Oklahoma State. Boom! Pickens Stadium, Stillwater, Oklahoma. And we got a great matchup here. Oklahoma State, while I am very high on them on the season, they're the number one most experienced team in the country, 19 returning starters, but they're going against the South Dakota State team, the Jackrabbits, that are coming off a FCS national championship. Offensive side of the ball, they do lose a lot, but they keep a lot of the core together. We're talking about quarterback Gronkowski under center. They have two elite running backs, an Angel and Amar Johnson. And I was doing my research. I was trying to Google if these guys are brothers. I couldn't find out if they are. I'm going to assume they're not, just because Johnson is a common name. But I think these two are going to be very electric there for the Jackrabbits this season. Then you look at the defensive side, top 9 tacklers back for them. So from a defensive and an offensive perspective, they keep the core of this national championship team in the FCS. Last season, Oklahoma State did struggle on the defensive side, and there may be a continuation in that one. 4.6 yards per carry given up to opponents, 275 yards per game given up as in the passing game as well. So defensively, not your typical Mike Gundy type of defense, but the Jackrabbits have a great offense, especially running the ball. 6.1 yards per carry on average, 222 yards passing, and their O-line only allowed a 3.2% sack rate last year. Granted, this is FCS competition, so you take that with a little bit of grain of salt, but I think in this game, when I see this line very short, I know what's going to happen, because look at what Oklahoma State does in week 1 historically. 2023, Oklahoma State was a 27-point favorite versus Central Arkansas, only beat them by 14. Oklahoma State was a 21-point favorite in 2022 versus Central Michigan, only won by 14. 2021, 38-point favorite versus Missouri State, an FCS school, only won by 7. And then 2020, they faced Tulsa as a 23-point favorite, only won by 11. 0-4 ATS last 4 years in opening week 1 games. I'm not saying that Oklahoma State stinks, because I don't. Because I think this team has the potential of winning the Big 12. I did take a future on them to win the Big 12 because I thought there was just great value on it. I'm saying that when they show up and go flat in week 1, people walk away from them. And that's what I want, because I think when they get into conference play, they're going to step up. But in this game, not so much. I like the Jackrabbits here, plus 9.5, 2 units special.
Let's go, Guns. So I'm writing it down right now. Jackrabbits, you got them on the spread. I got to talk to my guy, my producer back there, Jose. I'm going to see if I can get a spreadsheet. I will have everybody's bets, whether you're in the chat and you come give one on, or whether you're on screen. I will have everybody's bets tracked. I want to get a spreadsheet going that I actually can put on screen and show you guys in the chat. And this spreadsheet is not to highlight anybody that's not doing good. We don't care about that. It's to highlight the people that are winning, so we know if somebody's hot, where we're going to get paid. And I know my guy Guns is going to be hot this season.
I'm already 2-0 to start the season. Actually, no, I'm week 0. I'm 4-1, so I'm fine. I'm going to be sitting pretty. I ain't wine time with his 10-1 or 9-1, but hell, I'm doing okay.
Hey, if TCU lost yesterday, I would have been sitting in shit. I'm glad that TCU won. I didn't need the cover. I had a prop. I had Hoover's passing yards with TCU just to win on the money line. I needed that. I needed that win. It's a good way to go into the day. One thing I'll say real quick before I hand this to Moose and Winetine. And Moose and Winetine, if you guys have a bet on this game, go into it. If not, just go ahead and give us a little outside thing, what you think. I think Ollie Gordon II should be he should be somebody that everybody knows at this point. Props have been absolutely money for me. I like South Dakota State as a side for a cover. I agree with what Gunn said. If I was looking at props, I would take Gordon's props. And right now, props for me have been on fire for college football. Especially if this is a close game, they're really going to lean on him. So I really like his prop. Moose, what you looking at here?
I totally see what Gunn's seeing. The only thing, all those totals, all those spreads you listed, those were big spreads. This is under 10. And I don't see how Ollie Gordon and that Oklahoma State offense doesn't get it done. I think that Guns is on the right side here. But that Ollie Gordon and that Oklahoma State offense could be just methodical in how they move down the field. And I thought the 9.5 was more indicative of the fact that they've had really poor opening day success at home. Like that's the other thing is like those games were at home and they still couldn't cover games that they were expected to blow them out. I think Guns is on the right side, but I couldn't get there because the spread was a little lower than I thought it would be. And I just couldn't pull the trigger.
Gotcha. So no bet on this one for my dude Moose. Wine time, what about you? Did you fire away on this one or no?
Yeah, that was a great breakdown by my guy Guns right there. Honestly, that makes me want to get on that side. You look at this Oklahoma State team, Mike Gundy, you know what I mean? Very conservative coach. He doesn't use the NIL or anything like that. He kind of builds his team the way it goes. Guns also touched on it, kind of goes off to a slow start last year. Same thing. Ended up winning majority of the games towards the end of the year. I think they went off and won like 9 games in a row, something like that. Don't have the stats in front of me, but big fan of this Mike Gundy, always have been. Been a coach there for, I think, like almost 20 years now. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, and you look at South Dakota State, run first offense. These guys love to run the ball. Guns mentioned 6 yards a carry. They're going to ground and pound. You look at the spread net 9 points. They're playing in Oklahoma State, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Boom Pickens. Stillwater.
Yeah, I don't have a play in this one, guys. I definitely like the way that Guns is leaning here. South Dakota side, he's definitely got me leaning that way by his breakdown, but I got nothing in this one, guys.
Beautiful. Like I said, rapid fire. So if we got nothing, we move. Our dude Guns, he's going to be on South Dakota State on the spread, and we're going to get paid there. Guns, I think you said you have 2 more for us. What's the next one you want to look at this morning?
All right. Let me you know what?
No
I'm going
rush.
to bring this one up. I got it right here. So we're going to be jumping into a little bit of a heavy favorite on this one. We have New Mexico going against Arizona. Arizona Stadium, Tucson, Arizona. Late night degenerate special here at 10:30 p.m. East. You have an Arizona team coming off a big season. However, losing the coach, Jed Fish, going over to Washington. They do have Brent Brennan to replace them. I'll get to him in a second. But we look at this offense for Arizona. They do lose a good chunk of their weapons, including the running back and wide receiver core. However, they keep their starting quarterback, an electric guy, Noah Fafita. I call him the GOAT because he absolutely cashed a lot of tickets for me last season. Top wide receiver is back as well. McMillan, 1,400 yards receiving for him last season, and they keep 4 out of 5 guys on the offensive line. So the key elements of being a successful team is like, can you keep your offensive line together? Do you keep your main weapon, which is McMillan, and you keep your starting quarterback? So the offense shouldn't have much of a drop-off because I think everybody else is plug and play. When you look at the New Mexico side, though, first game they lost to Montana State. They gave up 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. I remember taking Montana State live at plus 110, and I was like, I know they're going to win this game because that rushing was so good. And what I mean by that is when you look at the New Mexico State defense, they're a huge liability. Last year, they gave up 5.3 yards per carry. That game alone, they gave up 362 yards rushing, 7.7 yards per carry to an FCS opponent. Granted, a top 5 FCS opponent, but they're going against, they're having a step up in class in this one. And then you got to look at Arizona with the new running back core. Guess who their starting running back is? Former New Mexico running back, Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt. And that dude had 1,190 yards rushing for them last season, 6.3 yards per carry. He's the guy in the backfield with an elite Arizona line. And then you got to look at Arizona, 7-3 ATS versus non-conference opponents last 3 seasons. And then you look at New Mexico, 14-23-1 since 2014 versus non-conference, and 4-15-1 as a double-digit dog. This is a team that we cannot back, and I always like to fade teams coming off week 0 and then going into the next game because they're a little bit hurt, they're a little bit bruised up, and they're going against a team that is just rested, ready to go. Rest advantage all the way there for Arizona. And you're seeing the line here. I know it's moved a little bit down a direction from when I bought it because I got it at minus 30.5. I think you can get 29s out there if you do a little bit of research, but it doesn't matter. I love taking heavy favorites in week 1. I did it yesterday. I gave it to the people. Oklahoma minus 42.5. Guess what? Cashed. All right, we're going to do it again here. Arizona. I got it minus 30.5. I hand up. I got the worst line. They're going to win by 40. 1.5 unit special there for me.
I can't say it enough. I've said it on a couple shows. I know I said it on Betting with the Bag Thursday and on Friday. Week 1, these heavy favorites cover the spread. I say it every year, and I tell myself, every time I tell myself, I'm going to bet these heavy favorites, and then I pussyfoot around it, and I don't do it. I don't know what's going on with it. These Missouri, Oklahoma, Indiana, like I can just keep
Arkansas beat the piss out of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
70-0, easy.
Yeah. I'm telling you, week 1 is a showcase for these guys that like home opener. They're pumped. It's the first game out the gate. They want to show themselves, and the coaches do too. It's a presentation of the expectations of the season.
So our guy in the chat, and I want to make sure I hit you guys. Raymond said that's literally the only favorite. So when we're talking about these 9, like Stanford or South Dakota State, right? We're talking about these 9, these 13-point favorites like Michigan State. That's not who we're talking about, okay? Even though it's double digit, that's not what we mean. We're talking about these 30, 40, 50-point spreads. When we say huge spreads, that's who we're talking about. And they cover at an astronomical rate on week 1. But I want to keep it moving. Moose, did you have any action in the Arizona game?
Yeah, I'll read what my analysis is. New Mexico's are really bad. Offense was better than I expected, but the defense was holier than the Pope on Sunday. Arizona is a good football team despite all their losses, not touching this game with a 10-foot column pole.
Okay, see, that's beautiful. Wine time?
Yeah, I'm not touching this game either. I just want to touch on what Gunn said about Fafita, man. The guy made us a lot of cash last year if you back that kid, man. Played some big-time football last year in the Pac-12, coming in as a freshman. He's got his boy McMillan back. You asked me, that might be the best quarterback to wide receiver combo in the nation. It might be one of them. Arizona doesn't have the best receiving core in the nation, but I just think quarterback to receiver, that could be the top duo this season.
I love it. So I think you guys in the chat are getting an idea of how quick we're going to rapid fire. Just because we touch on a game doesn't mean that we're done with that game. Somebody else might come in here and have a best bet on it, and we'll go back to it. But what I can tell you, I think it was my dude Raymond who asked. It might have been somebody else. Somebody asked if we're going to touch on a certain game. We have time. I think I'm going to call the segment Moose Droppings. He spends so much time capping them all. At the end of the card, we will let you guys ask anything. It can be St. Mary's School for the Blind versus Dick Lick State. It doesn't matter. If you guys got a question at the end of the show, we're going to answer it. We'll get to it. Miami, Florida, though, is definitely on the docket. I know I saw you ask about that. Of course, we will hit that game. We're moving on to Gunn's third best bet here. He is on Arizona spread. He is on the Jackrabbits spread. Gunn, what is the third game we're going to be looking at with you here today?
Yeah. Wow. I feel bad for the rest of the panel. We got Moose and we got Wine Time. I think these guys have bets, and then all of a sudden, like they're games that they're not on. But I'll go into the next play. Hell,
let me tell you, so you feel better.
Yeah.
These two guys are going to hang out with me pretty much through the duration.
Gotcha,
so we're going to hit your best bets.
Yeah.
They will have time to give their best bets also. And most
I
people that
appreciate
come up here are only giving me one best bet. Guns, when you said 3, I'm not going to say, no, we only want one. I'm going to say, okay, baby, bring me all 3.
Okay. Here we go. Let's go into the third one, and we're going to stick with another Arizona team, but it's Arizona State. They're going against Wyoming, Mountain America Stadium, Tempe, Arizona. Another late night degenerate special, 10:30 p.m. East when this game tips off. You look at this Wyoming team, 70th in experience, 41.8% of their offensive production, 73% of their defense production, 13 returning starters overall. They do lose their starting quarterback. But they have this guy, and I tried to say the name last night, and I screwed it up. I'll say it with a Russian accent. Skibota is going to be the quarterback here. This is a guy that played in the bowl game and won them the Arizona Bowl, and he also played very well versus Texas. So this is a quarterback that may be a step up in class from what they had before. You look at Wyoming, they bring back their top wide receiver, 4 out of their 5 starters from the offensive line, and implementing a new offense. Now, if you know anything about Wyoming in the history, they had an old guy that was the coach. He retired after the bowl game. He was very conservative, more of a defensive-oriented guy, and just basically control time of possession. I think the offense is going to change this year with Wyoming, so look for that. Wyoming's defense returned 7 starters. 6 out of their 7 top tacklers are back as well. You look at the Arizona State side, they're leaking sieves, but they're 68th in experience, 54% of their offensive production, 55.7% of their defense production, 10 returning starters. Offense returns their top running back, but they are going with a new starting quarterback, new wide receiver core, and an entire new offensive line. I think there's going to be time to gel with this team, and I think there's opportunities to take Arizona State overall in the season, but I don't think it's going to happen in this game. You look at Wyoming, 4-4 straight up, 6-2 ATS versus non-conference opponents on the road. Arizona State, 1-9 ATS versus non-conference opponents last 3 seasons, 0-5 ATS at home. Versus non-conference. What historically I'm saying here, Arizona State just underperforms as a favorite versus non-conference opponents. I don't want to say fade Arizona State all season because they do perform in conference as a big dog. Those are the times that you need to be jumping on the Arizona State train. But in this case, I'm getting a possession with this Wyoming team that plays good on the road. I'm going to take Wyoming +7 2-unit special.
Beautiful. So we wrap it up with your third bet here. We got Arizona. We got the Jackrabbits. We got Wyoming. All ATS. My dude, Guns coming in absolutely firing. Love hearing it.
Hit the guns.
Wine time. Do you have any action in that one?
I don't have anything in this one, but shout out to my guy Guns, man. Bringing the fire this morning, bringing the energy, man. Love to talk college football with you, man. You really know what you're talking about, so I appreciate it, man.
I'm ready to run through a goddamn brick wall. This is my day. I am so fired up. Man, let's go.
Moose Money. You looking at anything in this one?
Oh, hell yeah, I'm looking at some shit in this game. Wyoming, baby. Guns, let's fucking get this.
Let's go. Hit the horn.
All right. There's a couple of things that I do want to mention, though. Easton Gibbs is no longer in Wyoming. He was basically the heart and soul of that defense, and he was very, very good. He is now gone. So the defense is likely going to be less talented, but specifically they're going to be less talented in the secondary. And what's Arizona State really going to have a tough time establishing? The passing game, because I do not believe that Arizona State brought in quarterbacks that are capable of moving the ball vertically. Sam Leavitt, redshirt freshman, all right? I don't expect him to come in and make any kind of impact really through the passing game. Jeff Sims is the backup, and he is awful. He's bad. He's really, really bad. So I really looked at the advantage that Wyoming has in the running game, where they should be one of the best rushing attacks in the nation. They're going to probably average about 200 yards per game. And Arizona State is one of the worst rush defenses in the country. They're going to allow a ton. I will say this. Wyoming historically has been very bad on the road. In 10 years, they're 17-39, but they are 500 against the spread as an away dog. I think, this is you're not going to be able to bet this, but the bet that you could make would be amount of times defensive coordinator Aaron Bull is shown on TV, and you take the over on that. He is the son of longtime head coach Craig Bull, so you know that they're going to be putting his ugly mug on the screen quite a bit. I didn't bet Wyoming because of that. I bet them because of the rushing advantage. I took Wyoming +7, and I did sprinkle the money line.
Gotcha. Now, in all transparency, I'm not keeping up with you guys' sprinkles. I got your Wyoming spread, but I don't know how to quantify a sprinkle. But I love that you shared that with everyone, Moose. So we got Moose and Guns both taking Wyoming. I just assume if it's a dog, you're sprinkling the money line too, right? Guns maybe a little.
Like slightly. It's not an official play that I post, but if you can get 7.5s and 8s, I think that's perfect value to get a possession on Arizona State. And then Razor in the chat just says public love in Wyoming today. Here's what you need to know about college football, especially early on. You can do the same thing with the NFL. The public, the books basically open the gates and let the public win in the first like 1 to 4 weeks of the season. And I've been tracking that for years. And that is the college football and NFL. They kind of correlate with that. So don't be afraid to take like a public play. I took Oklahoma, and Oklahoma was public yesterday. And they won. College football is a little bit of like playing loose slots. NFL is the sharpest game in the planet. But I digress. I like Wyoming, and so does the Moose.
Hell yeah. Well, in the chat, my guy Lucas R said Guns does have his own show. He does, Lucas.
Yes, I do.
And Guns, in just a second, I'd love for you to pop that in and promo it, because I know you got about 30 minutes, I think, until that thing kicks off. But what a way to start the tailgate. College Football Saturdays. You are our first guy coming on. You're our first guy dominating for us. I'm going to say it again for Guns. We've got Arizona ATS. We've got the Jackrabbits ATS. And we've got Wyoming ATS. So my dude Guns came in and gave us 3 best bets. 3 ways to get paid today. Real quick, Guns, can you go ahead and plug your show and let everybody know where they can find you?
Yep. 11 a.m. East. I'm going to do a show on the Guns Picks channel. It's called Saturday Mornings with Guns Picks. This is a Saturday show every week, 11 a.m. I'm going to have special guests on there, handicappers, and we're just going to talk about the slate. A lot of top 25 breakdown, whether we like the play or we don't. And then we're going to talk about some of the plays we like, cup of coffee parlay. It's an electric show, and it's an interactive show. So it's all about the chat. You guys ask the questions. We bring the opinions. Go on to the Guns Picks channel on YouTube to go check that out. 11 a.m. East. It's going to be an electric show. Let's go.
Hell yeah, Guns. Much love, my dude. We'll see you soon, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
I got you. There we go.
Yeah.
Clicking buttons. Boop, 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 boop. Clicking buttons, right? Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. Getting rolling. Like I said, we've already got 3 best bets from a capper that I have immense respect for. So shout out to him. And as much as I would love to go ahead and put up, the first game and then start working through them, that's not how this show is going to go. If you guys in the chat don't like it, let us know and we'll change it, because your opinion is really all that matters. But I think it's going to be great. And we've already got somebody else ready to rock, ready to give us a best bet. And guess what? This person reached out to me 2 days ago and said, hey, can I come on stream and give out a best bet or 2 with you? Of course you can. All of you guys can. Anybody in the chat. We're not special up here. We're just gamblers who are trying to get paid just like you guys. There ain't nothing special about us. We want to make that Saturday money. So if any of you guys in the chat want to join us, you got best bets, you want to give it on, let us know. And our guy Kong's Clips right here, right now, is going to be the first one to show y'all how it's done. Welcome, Kong's Clips.
Morning, fellas.
Yes,
sir. Kong, my dude, Kong? Man. Good to see you on screen.
What's up, brother?
Let's go.
Yeah,
good,
I'm here.
Man. How you doing this morning,
man? Late
man?
night last night. I'm good. Late night last night on the poker table.
Hey, if it's a late night on the poker table, it means you were surviving on the poker table, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know you sent it to me, Kongs, but we're kind of rapid fire in here. What's that? I know you actually had a couple of games. What's the first game that you wanted us to look into? And I'll intro it for you if you want me to.
Georgia Clemson.
Beautiful. Let me look here. I know we got a graphic for this one. And we will be live for the Georgia Clemson game right after this show. So this will be a perfect one to tune into live. This is going to be the big game on ABC, the early game on ABC. So it's 11 a.m. kickoff. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there we got the spread right there. 11.5. You got the number 1 team, Georgia, in the nation, taking on number 14, Clemson. It doesn't get any more electric than this week 1. How do you think you're going to get paid in this game, my guy Kongs?
All right. I don't like to see the spread dropping, but let's start out by say RIP to Johnny Hockey, man.
Hey, hold on. Can you Is it just me or can you guys hear Colin?
I hear it's choppy on my end too.
Choppy, yeah.
Can you pop him out and pop him back in real quick, Jose? Let's get this fixed out. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. Andrew G, Razor Sharp Picks. And don't worry. You hear, Klonks?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey, do me a favor and back out of StreamYard and then come back into it. I think it'll fix your mic.
Yeah, you want me to do a breakdown on it?
Absolutely, Moose. Go to town, and as soon as we get Kongs back, Kongs, can you back out of the StreamYard link and then click it again? It'll fix it.
All right, so here's what I got for this game, for Clemson and Georgia. First off, I think we have to make a note that Dabo Swinney has been very good in neutral field games. He's 21-10 on neutral sites. Ultimately, though, I just feel like the line is a little bit too much. Georgia has received more bets and more money, but at least that was the case a few, I think like on Tuesday when I was looking at this. Wine time, you hit me up. Apparently the line at some point started shifting, and now it's going to Clemson. I still think the initial line was a little off. Georgia is a legit team and might be the best in the country, but Clemson is very, very good. I don't see a 2-touchdown difference here. Klubnik will have to have a good game, and I'm not sure if maybe I'm in the minority here, but I do think Cade Klubnik is a good quarterback, and if he is even remotely good, this offense could be elite. Maffa is going to be their workhorse running back. The rest of the running back group is going to be somewhat of a major step down. If Maffa gets injured, a lot of Clemson bettors are going to be very disappointed. But this is a veteran, skilled offensive line, and it should be a fairly pass-heavy group with Maffa being used on short yardage and goal line. I think a lot of bettors are looking at the issues off the field in Georgia and making bets accordingly. But even if you take that aside, Georgia does have some question marks. They are young at linebacker. They're extremely talented, but they are very young. And that is going to be an area of the field that they're going to have to get elite production if they're going to do the things that they plan on doing. So I do like Clemson here. I took Clemson plus 14 with a little money line sprinkle because I think ultimately the better wide receivers are on Clemson. And I think the veteran O-line is going to be able to hold up to a very, very good Georgia D-line. So I like Clemson here plus 14. And of course, a little sprinkle.
Love it, man. Wine time, I was going to pass it to you, but let's see if we can get our guy Kongs back up here. Let's see if we can hear what he's doing again. Welcome back, Kongs. Can we hear him now?
You got me?
I got you. Hit it. Hit that bet quick in case it goes choppy again.
All right. So Georgia last season finished the season 13-1, fourth in the final AP poll, averaging 40.1 points per game. I don't like to see this spread coming down, but I'm on Georgia here. I got to take Georgia. I do not like Cade Klubnik. He will rely on the running. I see Georgia's defense standing up here, and I see Georgia winning going away.
Did you get the 11.5?
I bet it at 12.5 last night. Seeing it at 11.5 is a little scary, but it is what it is.
Gotcha, man. I'll be honest. I haven't bet this game yet, guys. I'm going to be on it live right here on Pub Sports Radio. And I'm going to be live betting it. Sometimes when I have pregame bets, I hold the trigger just a little bit from pulling it on the live bets. So I like to go into the live games without action. I would be on Georgia. I hate going against you, Moose. I would be with my guy Kongs. I don't like Clemson. I don't like Dabo Swinney. I don't trust Klubnik, however the fuck you want to say his name. I don't like him. I was high on him last year.
Moose said you got 14?
Yeah, I got the 14.
Yeah, I mean, you almost have to play it at 14.
Yeah, I don't see them two touchdown difference there. I do kind of think it's going to be somewhat close. But it's a lot of it is Dabo Swinney in neutral site games and Georgia with a less experienced team, which they are pretty much every year. I mean, with all the national championships they're starting to win and all the players and all the turnover. But I do think in the first game, linebacker is going to be a fairly key position in this game with Klubnik, who's going to be trying to pass the ball. And I might be the minority on it. I kind of like Cade Klubnik. I think at times, especially in the Wake Forest game, you saw some elite passing from him. Can you do that consistently? Fuck, I sure hope so. I sure hope so for my sake. But yeah, I do like Clemson.
So is Clemson official? Do I put it down as official?
Oh yeah, 100%. I bet it.
Because like I said, I'm tracking everything. So Clemson, you got plus 14. Wine time. What's your action on this game, or what are your thoughts if you're not betting it?
Man, when Moose tells you to take a number on something early, you fucking take it, because he messaged me and said, game, man, plus 14, it's a lot of points. And I'm like, dude, you know what? It is a lot of points, honestly. He gave me a lot of good reasons. They both touch on Cade Klubnik. Wasn't a big fan of him last year, honestly. But, this is year 2 for him entering the offense. Do expect him to take a couple steps forward, honestly, in the right direction. Dabo returns all of his team. He returns Carter Barrett, who said he's one of the best football players he's ever coached ever. Their linebacker room is filled with NFL guys. Not to mention the continuity that they have on both sides of the ball, honestly, going into this year. And then you look at just the strictly betting market, open up at a 14, like what Moose said. I see it's all the way down to 11 right now, which is absolutely crazy, with 20% of the bets on Clemson. And you know what? I'm going to look at the money line, because there's this very similar situation in a lot of these games. You got 97% of the bets and 99% of the money on Georgia money line. Don't be surprised to see an upset alert come in here for Clemson. Clemson could win this game outright. I think I'm too late to the number on plus 11, but if I'm thinking that Clemson can win this game outright, I still might take the plus 11. I lost all value on this number.
I'm gonna let you and Moose just repeat in my head wine time, and I'm saying right now, Cab, you are not betting Georgia first half for this live stream. You are not betting Georgia first half for this. I'm just gonna keep repeating it in my head.
I think if Georgia scores first, I will be getting in on Clemson right away. As soon as he hits the end zone, I'm hitting the live, and I'm taking a full unit play on Clemson, because I'm going to get a better number if Georgia scores first. But I definitely like what Moose is saying here, man. The live movement and from the betting market, everything, it's adding up to me to be a Clemson spot. You look at Georgia though. Kong's clip mentioned it. 13-1 last season. They're always in the top 4 in the country. Always a great team every single year. You got Kirby Smart. I just think this is too many points.
Yeah. And one more thing. I don't really want to talk too much about the off the field issues, because you can never tell where off field issues are going to penetrate into the game. But ATN is out. So I think I saw it mentioned in the chat, and you have a couple other guys. Linemen are out. There's some guys on this defense that are out. Those DUIs that were coming through, and the reaction to it was, wasn't great. But I wonder how much of the line movement was happening because people were just checking covers and the injuries. Just say, oh my God, their best running back. Dude, just Georgia. They have really good running backs behind ATN. I mentioned it when I did the Boston the Sauce breakdown. He's really good. ATN is very, very good. But is he going to be significantly better than all the other running backs there? No, it's Georgia. They have a stable of horses, or a stable of dogs, I should say. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a tight game. And if you're telling me if I think it's a tight game, a plus 14 seems like the side to be on.
I hear you. Well, chat, drop what you think about this game. We are split. We got 2 bets in it. Our guy Moose took the Clemson plus 14, got in early. Our guy Kong Slips is going to be on Georgia minus 12.5. Wine Time and me didn't bet it. We're split right down the middle. The 2 on this side think it's Georgia. The 2 on the other side think it's Clemson. So it'll be a fun game to see what's going on. But shout out to you guys real quick, man. We're rolling. I told you this was going to be rapid fire. We're already 40 minutes in, and we are not stopping. So we're going to keep going, man. Craig Wood, Steven rolling in the chat. Nunya, he's going to come in and give you guys a best bet here in a little bit. My guy Alex said it's Christmas in August. I keep thinking the same, man. I heard Santa Claus last night, and I couldn't go to sleep. It was like a little kid ready to check my stocking and get paid, baby. I'm glad you guys are here with us on Pub Sports Radio for the first tailgate. If you can, please share the video. Let's get up over 200 live on this first Saturday. Let's show everybody that we mean business, right? If you like the show, if you like the way we're doing the best bets, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know, because it's all about you guys in the chat. We want to adjust. We want to evolve. We want to get better, and we want to win money. So that's what we're going to do. Kong, you had 2 more bets, I think, right, my dude? What was the next game you were wanting to look at? I'll get it introed.
Western Kentucky and Alabama.
Western Kentucky, Alabama. Let me get this pulled up real quick. I tell you what, this was one that I actually did not have, but I was specifically asked to add it by my dude Moose Money over there. So I'm excited to talk about this one.
I did.
It's post Nick Saban era. What else can you say? The biggest story of the biggest story of the offseason, right? We're post Nick Saban era. Alabama's ready to take on these Hilltoppers. This game's going to take place in Bryant-Denny Stadium at 7 p.m. Eastern. It will be on ESPN if you want to watch this one. How are you getting paid in this game, Kongs Clips?
All right, so Alabama last season finished the season 12-2, was ranked 5th in the final AP poll, averaging 41.1 points per game. One loss come to Texas in Alabama. Early in the season, they rattled off 11 straight wins, with the final win being powerhouse Georgia in the SEC title game. Then they lose to my preseason championship pick, Michigan, in the Rose Bowl. They had a good season last year behind sophomore quarterback Jalen Milroe, who was serviceable but struggled against top 5 teams. Milroe's back under center for Alabama this season with the new coach, Kalen DeBoer. DeBoer is a phenomenal coach that has some really big shoes to fill, replacing the legendary Nick Saban. I think Alabama comes out like they have the past 3 seasons in week 1 and shows who they are against inferior opposition, where they have won by an average of 41 points in their opening games the last 3 seasons. My second best bet is Alabama minus 30.5, minus 138 on FanDuel.
Bama minus, you say 30.5?
Yep, minus 30.5. I got that minus 138 on FanDuel.
Beautiful, minus 138. Got you right
Get
here.
under the key number of 31.
I tell you what, man, I like it. We touched on it earlier, Kongs. These heavy favorites, when you're talking about 24 plus points here, these heavy favorites in week 1, they cover at a ridiculous rate. And I'm not personally betting this game, but if I was, I'd be on the same side here. You and I align here. Wine time. You got any action in this game? If so, how are you getting paid and what are you looking at?
Kalen DeBoer era begins. Alabama fans definitely stoked on this. Definitely bummed though that the best coach of our generation, Nick Saban, is now gone. Now doing the pregame action on ESPN for us. I got nothing in this game, guys. Got so much action today, but this isn't something I have. I'm going to skip right over this one.
Beautiful. If there's no action, let's keep it rolling. Moose, what about you?
I do think that it should be noted that TJ Finley is the quarterback now at Western Kentucky, taking over for Austin Reed. The production should be better. TJ Finley, who's had plenty of experience facing Alabama, I would absolutely be leaning towards Western Kentucky. Their defensive line is actually pretty damn good. Their whole entire defense should be serviceable. They should be one of the better teams in the Conference USA, but it's Alabama. Alabama has been known sometimes to, just absolutely throttle it. But those were Saban teams. How does DeBoer do this? Does he want to get to his backups to see if they're able to perform the way that he expects them to perform? I think Western Kentucky is probably the side here. I wouldn't touch it, but I think TJ Finley in Western Kentucky could be even better than Austin Reed was. And I thought Austin Reed was a hell of a quarterback. I think Western Kentucky would be the side to be on. I'm not touching it. Good luck on Alabama, but I do think Western Kentucky is probably the side here.
Gotcha. You know what's funny, guys, here on screen and in the chat? I feel like we're rapid fire. I feel like we're rolling, right? I feel like we're going through these games quickly. But we're already backing up. We're already backing up with other cappers who are ready to come up here and give you guys their best bet. I don't know if Razor can make it or not. I shot you the link, Razor. If you have a best bet for us, maybe just one, come give it. No worries if not, though. Shout out to my dude Razor Sharp Picks in the chat. We're going to speed it up even more because I got a couple people backstage I want to get to. Kong, what's your last best bet? What game are we looking at?
Notre Dame, Texas A&M.
Ooh, I could intro this game for 20 minutes, but I'm going to let you have it. Big matchup here in Kyle Field. Game day, game of the week. I cannot wait. What are you looking at?
All right, so Notre Dame goes to College Station in what I believe will be a fist fight with the Aggies of Texas A&M. This matchup could have implication on playoffs for both teams. Notre Dame brings in dual threat quarterback Riley Leonard from Duke, where he only played 7 games last season. Leonard played 13 games in 2022, where he threw for 2,967 yards with 20 touchdowns and 6 picks. The same season, he rushed for 699 yards, 5.6 yards per carry, and 13 touchdowns. Notre Dame's defense returns 15 players that had at least 100 snaps last season and held opponents to only 15.9 points per game. Good for eighth in the country. On the other side of the ball, Texas A&M brings in defensive-minded coach Mike Elko from Duke, where his defense held opponents to 19 points per game, good for 36th. Elko knows his way around the defense, and with the talent he has at his disposal, look for the A&M D to be stout this season. Elko landed one of the country's most underrated defensive transfers in Nick Scorton, defensive end from Purdue, where he wrecked backfields, accumulating 10 sacks, 15 tackles for loss. Look for him to try to contain Riley Leonard. The narrative surrounding this game is that Elko knows all about Riley Leonard because he has been his coach. Honestly, I don't see it that way. That Riley Leonard knows Elko's defense just as much as Elko knows Riley Leonard. So that worries me a little bit. My best bet for this game is going to be the under 47 and a half. I could see it being 10-13, 14-21. It's going to be a dogfight.
Man, I love it. And Kongs, that was a great breakdown, man. I love how you said it. Just because we all talk about Elko knowing Riley Leonard, you're right. Doesn't that mean Riley Leonard knows Elko also? Very good point right there. Something that it's contrarian that I haven't even thought about, but it makes plenty of sense. Dude, I love doing it.
Who has played Mike Elko's defense as much as Riley Leonard?
Nobody. That's a very good point. Nobody, man. I tell you what, Kongs, I got you here on Georgia minus 12.5. I got you on Bama minus 30.5 at minus 138. And then I got you on the under right here on Notre Dame, Texas A&M. We got 3 best bets from my guy, Kongs Clips. Kongs, this is the first of many, hopefully. I'd love to have you back. I'd love to hear your bets throughout the season. Thank you so much for joining us. You got any last words for the chat before we keep this thing rolling?
Yeah, shout out to Pub Sports Radio for doing this thing. Let's get paid today. Let's make some money.
That's it
Good
right
shit,
there.
Kongs. Good shit.
That's it, Kongs.
Yeah.
Love it, man. See you soon, and let's get paid, Kongs. Good shit, man. Moose and Winetine, if you haven't noticed, I'm speeding up. Of course I want to talk about this game, and of course we're going to. Our first 2 guys that came on, they had 3 best bets. The rest of the people that are coming on, they're going to give us 1, and they're going to bounce. So I don't want to keep them waiting anymore. This guy will probably be rapid fire real quick for us. You saw him yesterday on Betting with the Bag. Boy, did he make waves. I had to reach out to him. As soon as I saw him, I was like, this guy's gold. I got to get him on the show. I know he's a good bettor. So without further ado, we'll get him up on stage to hear his best bet with us. Our guy, Nunya. What up, Nunya?
Let's go, Nunya. Let's go.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Nunya. Man, I saw you yesterday. I was like, I got to have this guy. I know it'll be quick. I know it'll be quick.
I know y'all already talked about this game, but Oscar Delp, this tight end at Georgia.
I'll be right back, guys.
I got him at plus 250 yesterday for the anytime touchdown. I think you can get a plus 220 right now. Keep your eyes on him.
So let me get Oscar. Let me make sure I get this right. Oscar Delp.
Oscar Delp, tight end.
Anytime
6'5",
touchdown at plus 200.
big boy.
Anytime touchdown. Sorry, it's taking me a second. Nunya, I want to write that down. Our first big plus money bet on the show today.
Yes,
Nunya, I love
sir.
it, baby.
Trevor Etienne, I think you can still get him at minus 167. Keep an eye on that. You want to say, why not pick some Clemson anytime touchdowns, but I ain't doing it. It's Georgia all the way today, baby.
Love it, man. Okay, so we got plus 200. Oscar Delp, anytime touchdown, the tight end for Georgia from our guy Nunya. Was there anything else you wanted to drop real quick, Nunya?
Virginia, minus 19.5 versus Richmond.
Virginia.
God damn, Nunya's got places to go, people to see.
Yeah, Nunya's moving, man. My guy Nunya's. So I got you Virginia 19.5. I got you Oscar Delp anytime touchdown plus 200. Sounds like we're getting paid, Nunya. Thank you again for dropping in. I love getting to see you on camera. You got any words for the chat before you bounce out of here?
Cash it. We be pubbing.
Let's go, Nunya. Good shit.
Hell yeah, man. Man, I love that guy. Love that guy. We are rolling here on the tailgate on this first Saturday. I saw somebody in the chat put, what are you guys sipping on? It's the tailgate. You're right. And I don't need to say it's 12 o'clock somewhere. On Saturdays, I don't care what time it is. I will be grabbing a beverage here very soon with you guys. We're just trying to keep it moving because we're already 50 minutes into the show, and I've got one more person who thinks he's going to cap college football this year. He told me, he said he's going to put his heart and soul into it. He's going to try his best to not be just an MLB and WNBA capper anymore. One of my favorite people that I get to work with day in and day out, the one, the only Jose Bouquet. What up, Jose?
Hello, gentlemen. It's nice to see y'all. I'm a little disappointed I couldn't motherfuck Kong's to his face. But I'll say this now. Kong, respectfully, go fuck yourself for knocking me out of poker last night, you son of a bitch. Just kept whipping my ass.
So he got the bounty on your head?
Yeah, he's a son of a bitch. But it ended up being Mikey Money's money at the end of the day because I ended up winning bets off Mike. So it was a good night. So shout out to everyone that was in the poker tournament last night. We appreciate you guys.
Hell yeah, man. Also, I got to say this. The members, thank you for everybody who's a member. If you didn't know, all you got to do is hit the join button in the description of the video. We don't ask for anything here at Pub Sports Radio as far as like money for picks. We just give them to you like this. Watch on this show so far today. We've got 3 best bets from our guy Guns picks. He gave us Arizona minus 30.5. He took the Jackrabbits, South Dakota State ATS. He took Wyoming ATS. We got our guy Moose, who is on Wyoming ATS with Guns also. Moose also bet Clemson at plus 14 earlier in the week. Still likes the number now, I think, right, Moose?
Yeah, not as much, but I mean, yeah.
Of course, not as much.
What are you talking about? You should love where they went, but we'll talk about it in a second.
Kong's Clips came in, gave us Georgia minus 12.5, so him and Moose are going head-to-head. He also gave us Bama minus 30.5, minus 138. And then he gave us the under in that Bama game also. And then Nunya came in and dropped us some plus money. He has Oscar Delt, the tight end for Georgia, anytime touchdown at plus 200. And then he has Virginia minus 19.5 on the spread. So we got plenty of action. And Winetime and me haven't even talked about ours yet. And Jose's about to drop his. We are betting, boys. We are betting here on this Saturday. Jose, what game are you looking at and how are you going to get paid this first Saturday?
Well, obviously it's a pleasure being on here. So thank you as always to everyone in here. Moose, Winetime, Cab. Cannot wait to see how the tailgate goes. First of all, Cab, good news. I sent you a spreadsheet so you can track people's action.
Yes. My handwriting sucks.
Yeah, it'll be easier. It'll calculate everything for you, and you can even type their names in, and it'll track them by name as well. So,
and I had to steal this pen from my daughters. So
that's a good pen. That's a quality pen right there. So shout out to your daughters. All right, so game 1. You guys have probably talked about it. A marquee matchup here today: West Virginia, Penn State. I mean, come on. I'm a market hound, guys. And if we're gonna talk about college football, and we're gonna start off with a home game in Morgantown, West Virginia, at night, with a kind of rival. Pitt's more of the rival in West Virginia, but it's the same fucking state. West Virginia wins this goddamn game outright, ladies and germs. So go ahead, mark it down, Cab. I bet it about 5 minutes ago. Official for the program, West Virginia plus 7.5, minus 110. West Virginia money line plus 255.
Wait, you want me to put a whole unit for you? Like track it as a
full
unit?
Of course. Yes, of course. I put a whole unit on it already. Of course. There's confidence in these bets. 40% of the bets, 47% of the money on West Virginia. So that means 60% of the bets, 53% of the money on Penn State. You guys have probably seen this line already throughout the week. Open at 10, now at 7.5. If it gets down to 7, I'll feel really good. But West Virginia wins this game outright. And indeed, Stephen Harrison, I'll be sitting here by myself tonight singing Country Roads after 3 mango White Claws. God damn it. It's going to be a beautiful time.
I'm jealous. This is so rapid fire. I'm ready to crack a top and grab one. I might do that here in just a second.
Well, please do. Go ahead, Cab. I'll roll into game 2 here.
I got
you have more than one bet?
I have 2.
Well, how about we let Moose and Wine Time hit this game real quick, since there's nobody else in the wings, and if they have bets, let's let them hit it. I'm gonna grab me a beer and crack it before 10 a.m. this morning. If you guys in the chat are tailgating with me, let me know what you're drinking on. Drop it in the chat. Hit the like button. Share it. Let's get over 200. We're so close. We're at like 290. We're 295 right now. Let's get there. Thank you guys for an awesome Saturday. Let's keep going on this game. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Moose, start us off. I want to hear it.
All right. I get the Morgantown thing. I do. But there are some significant questions about this West Virginia defense. The D-line should be strong, but it doesn't have a lot of top talent. The linebacking group is deeper with experience, but it's not overly talented. And there is talent at cornerback, but safety is a major concern. The entire scheme of the West Virginia defense is going to be, can their front seven get a very good pressure on a Penn State offensive line that should be pretty good. That is the number one question I had is, will Penn State's O-line hold up against a very good front seven? And I think it ultimately will. This is also Penn State, one of the best rushing defenses, going up against one of the best rushing offenses in the country. West Virginia has some dudes at running back. They are very good, where their top running backs are returning, and Green is going to be their featured running back. Most of the receivers are back, and they do add in tight end Cole Taylor, who's an LSU transfer. They do have a lot of experience on a talented O-line. I couldn't get to a side. I just couldn't get there. But the thing that I feel most confident in this game is that Penn State is going to score points here. I know that Morgantown has kind of traditionally played a little bit to the under, but with Aller back, and he's played really, really well against weaker competition. He struggled against better defenses. Is West Virginia a better defense? I don't really think so. He kind of struggled with some of his wide receivers. Their wide receiver group is significantly better. Their running game, they added one of the best running back prospects in the country in Quinton Martin. They also added wide receiver Julian Fleming. So I do think that Penn State scores. So I took Penn State team total over 30.5 at plus money.
Penn State, hold on, let me write it down. Penn State team total
over 30.5.
What are the odds you get on that?
Oh shit! All right,
you're gonna need Cab. You're gonna need odds if you're gonna track these.
There you go. My odds. Penn State team total also, over 30.5. Oh, I didn't get it plus money. I lied. Minus 110. I lied.
So Jose, this first week it's gonna be a bitch going back in there and putting them all in. But what I was thinking is, as we go like next week, I literally just type it in as people tell me.
Yeah, well, no, the spreadsheet that I sent you, you'll be able to do all that pretty easily. So, and you can. It'll track all doing the math. So you just check out the spreadsheet. You'll see what I mean.
Let me write this one down. My guy Lucas in the chat said Cab over 50. Put it down as his POD. I got you, Lucas.
Wow, there you go. Shout out to you, Lucas. Wine Time thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I actually broke this game down, I believe last week on Betting with a Bag. Took it a couple weeks ago at plus 10 on the West Virginia side. Got in at a really good number when it originally came out. Gave it out on X when I got the number at minus 110. Can see this line's gone all the way down to 7.5. It got down to 9.5. Got down to 9. 8.5. Just been going slowly down. Jose, you mentioned 40% of the bets, 48% of money on the West Virginia side. These players have been talking all their shit on X. West Virginia, especially, they lost in Penn State last year, 38-15. They want some revenge in this game. No better place to do it than in Morgantown, West Virginia. I think the fans are going to be rocking and rolling out there. Coming off a huge 9-win season for West Virginia, really exceeded expectations last year. Ran the ball more than any team. Ran the ball at a better rate than almost every team in the nation at a 61% rate. They've got a couple dudes, CJ Donaldson. I know that's CJ. That's on my bad. That's from Penn State. They break a couple of running backs that run the ball at a very high level. I just think the 10 points is way too much. Would I take it at 7.5? I'm not too sure, honestly, just because I already got the value in. I do think this is a game West Virginia can win outright, though. So I definitely am on the West Virginia side. I'm not going to give out a plus 7.5. If you want to write me down as a plus 10, Cab, that's what I gave out on X. If not, we can just skip right through it. But that's my bet in this game. West Virginia plus 10.
I definitely want to write you down. One of my favorite college football cappers, C-Mac, 100% had the invite, always has the invite. And he just said, "You not sending me the link or what, Cab?" Man, what an ass I am. I miss my guy C-Mac, and we know we want to get C-Mac up here. So I'm dropping C-Mac this link real quick so we can hear his best bet. And then I'll write you down. Hold on.
Hey,
Sorry,
we need
guys.
to get back and cover Notre Dame and Texas A&M. I got a lot of shit to say about that game.
We will. And I'll let
I
you
just had
know.
to make sure. Just had to make sure.
Don't worry. All right. Well, I'll roll into my next game here real quick. Since we have all covered it, I'm on.
Jose, before you do, I wanted to take my first drink of the day with the chat on this first college football Saturday. Cheers to you, Jose. Cheers to you guys in the chat. Anybody who has a drink, tip it up. Let's have a drink real quick.
The White Claws hit different before 10 a.m.
I'm just saying, it sucks the sand right out of your vagina, doesn't it?
It does. It really
Let's
does.
move on to this next game. Jose, what's the next one you're getting paid on?
Okay. Before I get into my last
Gotcha,
game,
PJ.
I'll quickly mention I agree
Frank
with
Harris
Guns.
is on. Yep. Frank Harris is no longer there. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I agree with Guns. Oklahoma State week 1. Don't fucking bet them. Don't fucking bet them no matter who they're playing. Mike Gundy, the most conservative coach on and off the field. I don't know what the fuck it is with this guy. His week 1 suck balls and being only 9.5-point favorites at home against fucking Joey Kahoozie State is not a good sign. That being said, I have bet Oklahoma State to make the college football playoff at plus 800, so you guys know. And also, since Moose mentioned it, UTSA should beat the shit out of Kennesaw State today. They were minus 20 at one point. Now they got up to 24. I'm going to be very interested to see who's at quarterback. I'm choosing to stay at home and watch all these games.
Not Frank Harris.
I'd rather go to this right here, Cap. I'd rather be right here than at the tailgate right now for UTSA. So
yes,
it's fun. I have season tickets. This will continue my streak. 2 seasons, 1 game so far attended by me, but I'll be there at the game next week. It does not matter. But my game, Clemson, Georgia.
Ooh.
You know what? I'll say it. Clemson might win this game outright as well. I'm going to be on Clemson here. Dabo has that drip, guys. You guys know what it is. Here we are again. Everyone's saying, "Oh my God, Georgia's so good at the SEC. Dabo's a big dumb bitch. He can't do fucking anything." 72% of the bets, 76% of the money on Georgia. This is SEC football. Clemson comes in here, 12.5-point underdogs, now down to 10.5. I don't fucking like Dabo Swinney either.
Wow.
But guess what? Quarterbacks get better as they age. Cade Klubnik looked horrible last year, but I'm going to trust the guy that took pre-touch Deshaun Watson into a star. I will trust the guy that took Trevor Lawrence from amazing high school prospect to number 1 overall pick. He made DJ Uiagalelei look competent for a season. Give me the Clemson Tigers to make this a close ball game. Oh, I'm glad I'm on the same side as Razor. That's a good sign. Give me Clemson here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is like a field goal game. It's going to make all the Georgia fans sweat their ass off. Carson Beck is going to look bad. But boy, oh boy, let's go Tigers. The claws are out. The claws are out for a reason, ladies and germs, and the claws are going to take us to victory.
I knew there was a growl coming after that. I don't know how I feel right now. So I got you on Clemson, Jose. Are we going money line or just on the spread right here?
I'll be pussy here, and I'll just take them on the spread. Just bet it at 11, plus 11, minus 110. Cannot wait. It's going to be a fun day of football. Haven't even looked at the baseball slate yet. That's how excited I am for this football. I cannot wait.
I love hearing that, actually. I got you, Tom Leach. I just wrote down Virginia Tech minus 13.5. I really like Virginia Tech also, Tom. I like that bet.
Tom, I agree with you. By the way, Tom, English, watching us in England right now. It's like nighttime, I guess, in England. And it's funny that you're going to get all this college football, Tom, and we're all just waking up. You're just getting in the middle of the night. That's a lovely time, Tom. So shout out to you, Tom. It's nice to see you in the chat.
Hell yeah. I also got TJ Perry. He told me to put down Penn State minus 7.5. If you put it in the chat and you say Cab, track it, or this is my POD or whatever, just get my attention. I'm tracking it. You're going on the spreadsheet. I got you guys. Yeah. And do not be one of those people that if you give out a bet that loses, you don't show up. There's trolls in the chat. We're not trolls here on the screen. Nobody's going to say anything. If you lose, it is what it is.
I might make fun of you a little bit, but it's okay. Yeah. It's 4 p.m. for Tom. Shout out to you, Tom. Real quick, I do have one more bonus play. I'm not going to take too much time on this one. Same fucking thing. LSU, USC. Give me USC here. USC wins outright here again. Cab, you could make this official as well. +4 and money line here. I'm going to look real quick. +4, minus 110. And USC money line +160. We'll talk about where the line moves in this one here. 57% of the bets, 52% of the money on LSU. Pretty split. You'd think, they'd probably respect that split money. You know, they'll say, let's not move it too much. It goes from 6 to 4 already. Just going to say it now. USC wins this game outright. Down goes LSU. And that is all my plays here for you guys.
I love it. So we got 4 bets from Jose. I thought we were getting 1, and he brought in 4 for us. We got West Virginia +7 and on the money line +255. We've got Clemson +11.5. We've got USC +4 at -110, and then on the money line at +166. So Jose loading up, man. You're going to love it, Jose. You're going to watch this college football this weekend, and you're going to be a fan. I'm telling you.
I'm already a fan. Cab, come on. I fucking spend my life at UTSA football games. This is a lot of fun. But it's going to be great watching these games. And like I said, I am so ready to get hurt again by Oklahoma State. I went, obviously, if you guys don't know, I went there my freshman year of college. I still pay student loans there, so I'm still a fan. I think that's how that works, by the way, guys. If you pay student loans to a university, you're a fan of that university now as well. So I believe this is the best I've felt about an Oklahoma State team in a long time now, since my guy Mason Rudolph was there. We're going to win the Big 12. We're going to make the college football playoffs. And then, like Mike Gundy does, he's going to fold under the big lights, and we're going to lose in round 1. And it's going to be okay because everyone's just going to be happy to be there. And this is the greatest thing that's ever happened in Mike Gundy's career. So God bless you guys. Good luck. And I'm not going to be here next week, but I'm going to tell you guys now, I'm going to leave you with this. UTSA is going to be an underdog next week against Texas State, most likely. UTSA has never, not one time in the program's history, lost to Texas State. Not once. So I'll say it now. This is the best shot Texas State has ever had, and I'm going to be there live to watch UTSA break them. Break their soul, break their spirit, break their heart. Because either Eddie Lee Marlborough or my baby boy, Josh McCown's kid, is going to fucking do the thing. So God bless you all. Let's go, Roadrunners. And Mike Gundy, for the love of God, do not fuck this up.
Wine time.
I gotta get out. I gotta get out of here, fellas. Sorry, I gotta get out of here. I gotta.
So Wine Time's got to go, right? We've got like a few more minutes with him. So you're up, Wine Time. Now you're on rapid fire. Let us know what you're betting. Don't feel like you have to put too much of a breakdown into it if you don't got time. What do you want to hit real quick?
Guys, apologies. Gonna go join Boston this awesome about 20 minutes. Put back on that Virginia Tech game, though. Definitely got something in that. We're going to look at the Virginia Tech and Vanderbilt game, guys. ACC school, heading down to an SEC school. You look at Vanderbilt bringing in New Mexico State offensive coordinator, brought a lot of his guys over, brought his quarterback over. They did a lot of good things at New Mexico State. This is going to be a big step up in competition at the SEC level. Vanderbilt's been kind of just a doormat for the SEC pretty much ever since I've been watching college football. They don't usually recruit the best people. They usually don't have that great of a home crowd either. You look at Virginia Tech, on the other hand, bringing back a lot of returners offensively and defensively. This entire offensive line is experienced. All these wide receivers are graduate transfers, have been with the program for years now. They've been hanging out with Kyron Jones all off season. They've been hanging out. He's been taking them with him to Miami, practicing, becoming really good friends. All the continuities really built over this last summer. You see an ACC school minus 13.5 against the SEC school. That kind of throws you off, but I think it's for a good reason. I think Virginia Tech's going to head in to Vandy, and they're going to smack them right in the face. I think they're going to put the foot on the gas, and it's not going to come off the entire game. Kyron Jones is going to want to show that he's an NFL-type quarterback this season. I mean, he already has showed he's got all the tangibles. He's just got to really put it on film now. They weren't ranked in the preseason poll. Kind of threw me off a little. I thought they were going to probably be 24 or 25. I thought they might be ahead of Iowa, not going to lie. But I think after this, they are going to be ranked because they're going to blow this SEC school out of the water. Virginia Tech minus 13.5, minus 110.
Good. I love it. To keep the rapid fire going, I'll say my piece on it really quickly. Enter Sandman. Look, you've got the funding. You've got the fan base. You've got the want to. You've got the drive at Virginia Tech. I think this is a year that they really start to make some noise. I don't know how to say it. They got the backing. They've got the fan base. They've got the money. They've got all that you want here. I'm on Virginia Tech as well, minus 13.5. So Winetime and me are going to align on this one. Let's get paid. Moose, you in this game?
Yeah, I'll come back to it because let's get wine time with all of his bets.
Hell yeah, because Moose and I can have time to keep going. What's the next one you want us to pop up real quick, Wine Time? I know you got to go.
Let's do the Miami, Florida, honestly.
Hell yeah.
I'm not feeling super confident on this one anymore because I thought the line was going to go a little bit towards Miami. Guys, I am on Miami in this spot. I believe I got a minus 130 a couple weeks ago. It's still around that number. I think you can get a minus 140. Not a lot of live movement in this, honestly. You look at both of these teams. Both of these coaches kind of in the hot seat, you can say. They're both at big-time programs. They really have to show their worth here. Mario Cristobal goes out and he hits the transfer portal hard, gets everything he needs. He gets another dynamic receiver next to Xavier Restrepo. Not to mention, he brings in probably the best transfer quarterback, in my opinion, this season, Cam Ward, coming in. Guy's a fucking animal. He's a dog. He leaves it all out in the field. If you look at his highlight tape, man, when he throws to his receivers in one-on-one coverage, man, he's lights out, man. He's got the arm. He's got the NFL arm. He's got a big arm. He can take off and run with it when he wants, when the pocket's collapsing. You look at the defensive side, too. They bring in a lot of good defensive players. You look at Florida, though. They returned Graham Mertz year 2 for him. Really took a big step forward after coming over from Wisconsin, really running a slow offense. When he had time to throw at Florida last year, he was very successful. This guy's definitely is very much an NFL prospect going into this season. I think he's going to have a pretty good season. It's a tough matchup for him, though. This Miami defensive line is one to be reckoned with. They are kind of new, but look at this guy, Bain, sophomore edge, was a true freshman last year, 7.5 sacks in the ACC. Man, this guy is an NFL talent. He's going in the first round next year. They've got a couple other guys on the defensive line, too, just physical specimens. Been given this Miami offensive line that I've been hearing nothing but good things about all fall camp, a lot of trouble. Kind of sharpening iron there. I think Miami has they have the better athletes. My opinion, the coaching's pretty even in this one, honestly. I'm not a big fan of either of these coaches. I'm not going to lie. Mario Cristobal has had talent everywhere he's gone, and he really hasn't won in the big stage. This is a big season. This is the best team I believe he's ever had on paper. Forgot to mention Damian Martinez, over 73.5 rushing yards. I'm not going to make that official. That's just a little sprinkle there, but definitely like Damian Martinez to get off today. I definitely think they're going to pound the rock against this Florida defensive line that is very talented. They can stop the run, but it's going to be hard to stop two bruisers. You also got Mark Fletcher back there right behind him, another big guy. Both these guys, 6'2", 6'3", 230 pounds. These guys are going to be going after the linebacker. They're going to be head on against the linebackers. They're going to try to wear them out. Florida's going to try to do the same thing, wear those guys out, but I think these guys are going to be built for it because they're going to be rotating in and out of there. I think this game is going to be one on the ground with Miami, with Damian Martinez and Mark Fletcher pounding the rock, forcing their will down there. I'm going to take Miami money line.
I love it. And you gave it out at 130, you said, right?
Minus 130, yeah.
Okay. So since you gave it out, I'm tracking. if it's like official and it's been posted and everybody can have it, I'm tracking it at what you got. I know it's
I'll
different
post
now.
it on X. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm tracking it right there. Wine time, you got about probably 5 minutes because you got to go. Was there any other ones you wanted to hit real quick, or did you want to let everybody know?
I'm gonna leave it at that. Get a couple minutes. I'm gonna make a little bit more coffee. Good stuff though, guys. Definitely appreciate you guys for having me. It was a blast, man. I can't wait to start doing this every week with you guys. Chat, we're gonna get this all organized out. Everything. Week 1, you know what I mean? It was a great show for the first week, but we're gonna get this stuff dialed in for the next week as well. Appreciate you guys for coming out. We're over 100 likes, man. We've been live for an hour and 15 minutes. We've got a lot of people in the chat. Cheers to you guys, man. Really feels like Christmas morning today. First real week of college football. And I'll see my guy Cab here in about hour and 15 minutes for the live stream. So make sure to check us out on the live stream, guys. And shout out to you, Moose, if you're not going to be on there. Always pleasure, my guy, breaking these games down. Jose, my guy, sorry to interrupt you there back there. I just got in a rush.
He's
My
not
bad,
back there anymore.
Appreciate you though for everything you do backstage. You really should get a lot. I mean, you deserve a lot of the credit, Jose, because you do a lot of the unseen work behind the scenes. So appreciate you, my guy, and good luck to everyone out there.
Let's get paid, Wine Time.
Yes,
Everybody,
sir.
make sure you follow Wine Time on X, all social media platforms, and go check out Who Bangin' Sports Talk right now. He will be on there with 2 of my favorite cappers, Big Boss and Big Ragu. Man, you 3 guys as a team right there. Go kill it. I appreciate you, Wine Time. I'll see you soon, my dude.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh yeah, hit that button. Moose, we don't got time to slow down because we're still an hour. We're still an hour and 17 minutes into the show. We don't have time to slow down, but we're here now. We're here now. You guys in the chat, man. Steve G, Moneyline Mills, Tom Leach, BJ, MT13 said he thinks San Diego State covers. Okay, I like to see it.
Or South Dakota.
Yeah, drop y'all's action in the chat. I've got so many bets here that I've written down for everyone. I would recap them all again right now, but I'll do it here in just a minute. I got the chat's bets.
Yep.
I got the people on screens bets. And we got one more person doing a best bet for us right now. I could say this. I always talk about, I like this capper, this, that, or the other. This person is a good friend of mine. Not just a capper. This person is a good friend of mine. I absolutely love working with him. I respect the way that he bets because he does it intelligently. And I almost guarantee you he's going to bring you guys something special right here. My dude, Big Show Picks.
What up, boys? What up, boys? Congratulations. I know it's your guys' day. I'm not a real big college bettor, but I do got a bet for you guys if you guys are interested in the real football.
The real football. When you put real football in the chat, I was so curious to see where this went, man. Glad you're here with this, Big Show. What game are you looking at for the real football?
I'm looking at EPL. I'm looking at the Man City game. Take Erling Haaland 2 shots on goal, parlayed with the double chance. It's plus 108.
Okay, that
soccer
almost sounded like another language to me. So for me to write this down, you're going to have to slow down and say that one more time.
All right, Erling Haaland 2 shots on goal, parlayed with the Man City double chance. It's plus 108.
2 shots plus what was the second part?
Double chance.
Okay, I don't even know what that means.
Manchester City. So they can win if they win, or if they tie, it's still a win.
Gotcha. And what's the odds on it?
Plus 108.
Now, I might not know about a bunch about soccer, but what I do know is Big Show's making more money in soccer right now than most people are making in any sport that they bet.
Let's not get into that. We had a loser this morning, but good luck on the rest of your guys' show. I know this is a college football show. I ain't going to take up much of your time, but appreciate the love, though, Kev.
Hey, real quick then, before you bounce, Big Show, I know there's no UFC today, but can you let us know what's going on in the Locker Room podcast? Because you guys have been absolutely destroying it.
We'll be back in business Tuesday like normal, ready for next week's UFC. We got Tuesday night Contender Series too, so stay tuned. We got Contender Series, and then we drop the premieres Tuesday night at 11 p.m. So check that out, 11 p.m. And go check. There's 200 people in here. Go check out the sesh on Mondays. Peace out, guys. Peace out.
Thanks, Big Show. Much love, my dude. Appreciate you. Like I said, one of my favorite people right there. Coming in and dropping that knowledge. Locker Room podcast has been fire. Okay, I don't care if you follow the fights or not. They've had winning shows like 6 out of their last 7 shows. All these guys do is cash, hand over fist. It's good money. Speaking of good money, Moose, let's get going. I want to hand it to you now before I wrap up. Tell me what banner to put up. Tell me what game we need to talk about, Moose.
Then we got to go back to We got to go back to Notre Dame and Texas A&M. I mean, I want to do Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Miami, Florida, and I want to get to what was the other game Wine Time had? Oh, Virginia Tech and Vanderbilt. I want to get those three very quickly here.
There is the banner. Tell me how my Aggies are going to bitch slap.
All right, first off, I absolutely, completely, 100% disagree that Riley Leonard knows Mike Elko. When they do those practices, guess who doesn't get hit by the defense?
Quarterbacks.
The quarterback. He does not get hit. This is the first time he is going to get hit by the defense of Mike Elko. Mike Elko knows Riley Leonard way better than Riley Leonard knows Mike Elko. All right, he might know some schemes. He might know some verbiage. But when it comes to being able to matriculate through the pocket, he is not going to be able to do that as efficiently as he did when he had that cute little red jersey on. I got Texas A&M first half -0.5, and I also have Texas A&M Notre Dame first half under 22.5. Those are my two official plays. I initially had Notre Dame, but when Jakusa went down, he's the starting left tackle who's one of the top.
Is that how you say his name?
I think it is. Jagusa.
I called that motherfucker Jagsaw the other day.
Yeah.
And I listened to it on YouTube.
Yeah, Charles Jagusa. He had a torn pec, and I thought the offensive line was going to be absolutely outstanding. And obviously, the tackle positions are critical. Sullivan Absher does slide in. He is very highly ranked, but Jakusa was a top draft prospect. Like, he was literally potentially a first-round top 15 type guy. And the D-line for Texas A&M, dude, they're going to run 8 deep. They are going to have NFL-worthy prospects across their starting line and as backups. Elko has done a great job with defenses and will have the most talented defense he's ever had, which, that's not really a surprise when he's been at Duke. But I think this is kind of screaming as an under. Both teams, both Marcus Freeman and Mike Elko, do not run tempo. Freeman ranked 119th last year, and Elko ranked 123rd. So I think this is going to be a very sloggy game early. And even though I do think Notre Dame has the better team, the loss at left tackle, I believe, is going to be absolutely critical. And Riley Leonard is going to see way more pressure than he's used to. He's going to have to use his legs. I know he's good at that, but coming off an ACL injury, I don't know if you really want that guy running around that much. Riley Leonard running around that much against the Mike Elko defense that is going to get pressure and is going to be one of the best defenses in the country. So I took first half under 22.5, and I took first half Texas A&M -0.5. And there's some ATS spreads that are very interesting. A&M has won their last 6 season openers and are 11-0 straight up, 7-4 ATS. Freeman in his 2 years at Notre Dame, 5-4 on the road, 7-5 versus top 25, and 3-1 versus ATS, and 13-6-1 versus Power 5 teams. I kind of liked Notre Dame until the lineman issue happened, so I'm on Texas A&M. I did flip.
I love it. I am going to talk on this for just a second before we move on. But the most important part of this show will always be the chat. My guy Jarek White said, anyone got any college football?
I got some.
Props?
I got
Moose
some.
has some for you. My guy MMA Locker Room, shout out to him, said he just sent me 4 player props. So as soon as we finish talking about this game, I'll pull up what he sent me and I'll let you know. Or you can get on and drop it, Mills. You're always welcome up here. But I'll give you his player props, my dude. So shout out to you. And thank you for being a member, Jarek. Anytime one of you members ask a question, if we don't see it, put it again. Because you guys come first. So thank you. This game right here, man. Notre Dame's offensive line is the question mark. And anybody who caps it can understand that that's where the question mark is. And that's why A&M's favored. You've got 2 guys that are making their starts for the first time at positions ever on Kyle Field with 100,000+ people cheering. That is not an easy place to start for your first game on the offensive line. I expect to see a few false starts. I expect to see some blown blocking schemes. I think that A&M is going to be hyper aggressive, getting after Riley Leonard. I got A&M here. I took them way back when it was a pick 'em. I gave it out on Jimmy's show. I know that's not something you guys can tail, so I'm not going to sit here and just rant and rave about how I got in on the number. And I don't give a shit that I got CLV. That does not matter unless I win my bet. The only thing that matters is winning my bet. I am on A&M at a pick 'em. If you can get a 2.5 or you can buy that 3 down to a 2.5, I still like it. I got the Aggies. It's going to be a huge game, man. I cannot wait. Let me pull up these player props really quick, Moose, and then we'll move on. I want to read them out for everybody. Okay, let's see what I got. Hold on, this is a little confusing for me. Okay. Phil Mafia, anytime Mafia, did I say that right? Anytime touchdown Clemson. So you got anytime touchdown prop here for the Clemson game. I'm gonna say it again. It's Phil Maffa. Yeah, Phil Maffa. You've got Avery Johnson, anytime touchdown for K-State right here. That's another one. We've got Robinson, anytime touchdown. Now this one, the Robinson is for UGA, and my guy Mills will build parlays and stuff. Robinson's minus 200. He said he put 200 on it to win 100. You know, if he feels that confident in it, that's what it is. So he put 200 on it to win 100. He's got Robinson anytime touchdowns. He's got DJ Giddens, the running back, anytime touchdown. So we got 4 anytime touchdowns for you guys. Phil Mafia from Clemson, Avery Johnson from K-State. You got Giddens, and then you got Robinson. So 4 anytime touchdowns from our guy Mills. Shout out to Mills, man. Appreciate you dropping those bets. There's spilled beer. Great way to show love to all these bets.
Ruh-roh.
Can I drink it off this paper?
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Is that not what I'm supposed to do? Oh, yeah. Are we still doing a show? Shit. My bad, guys.
We all just saw that.
Let me review these bets really. What am I supposed to do? Waste it? The fuck? Let me review these bets really quick before they get too soggy. Our guy Guns, he brought us Arizona minus 30.5. He is also on the Jackrabbits, ATS, and Wyoming ATS plus 7. Those are 3 best bets from Guns. Moose, right now I got you on Wyoming ATS. I got you on Clemson plus 14. I got you on the Penn State team total over 30.5. Kong's Clips came in and delivered some fire for us. He's got Georgia minus 12.5. He's got Bama minus 30.5 at minus 138. And he's got the under in that Bama game. Where are Wine Time? Wine Time came in. He dropped us Virginia Tech minus 13.5. And he dropped Miami, Florida on the money line minus 130. And then we got Jose, who came in, brought us West Virginia plus 7. And then also on the money line plus 255. We've got Clemson plus 11.5. And then he's also got USC plus 4. And also on the money line plus 166. My dude Nunya came in and gave us a big plus 200 bet. Oscar Delt, anytime touchdown plus 200. And then he's also got Virginia minus 19.5. So we have action everywhere. You guys in the chat, I got Lucas on Penn State over 50. I got TJ Perry on Penn State minus 7.5. I got Tom Leach on Virginia Tech minus 13.5. I got Drunk Euro. Is that right? Drunk Euro on Bama minus 30.5. Also Texas 34.5. Also Arizona minus 30.5. So he's taken what we said into strides. The big favorites cover. He's got Texas, he's got Bama, he's got Arizona. My dude Perky Sanderson came in here. He dropped Penn State minus 3.5 parlayed with Georgia minus 4. And that concludes all the bets that I've tracked down. I am on A&M on the money line. I know that the line's moved. I'm also on Virginia Tech minus 13.5. Moose, what game are we going to next? We got about.
Let's go to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia Tech. Guys in the chat, put Moose and then a dash and then ask a question. Moose droppings is next, and we really do got to keep this going because we're almost done. If you have questions about games that we didn't cover, players that we didn't talk about, props that you want to know, bets that you want to know, put the name Moose in it and then put your question because our Moose droppings is going to come last. Virginia Tech, Vanderbilt, Moose. Go at it.
All right. When Virginia Tech won last year, the average margin of victory was 23.7. In their losses, they lost by an average of over 15 points. So it was either they won big or they lost big. Lee for Vanderbilt, the head coach of Vanderbilt, he is 4-15 at home against the spread. Virginia Tech is a much stronger team on both sides of the ball. You've already heard about Jones coming back. They got Tootin, who had a strong finish to the season last year, and they returned most of their wide receivers. Vanderbilt does return a lot of players on defense, but it wasn't a very talented group last year. So, returning crap is still crap. And Vanderbilt's offense is a huge question marks in the passing game. Run game should be decent, but Virginia Tech is fully capable of shutting down a running game that will rely on Diego Pavia, who is the new quarterback for Vanderbilt and was very good at New Mexico State. But this step up in competition is going to probably significantly reduce his overall appeal to college football bettors. Vanderbilt's defense is better, but still an overall weak defense. Virginia Tech was going over the 31 mark 8 of their 13 games. They didn't do as well on the road, but they had some very difficult opponents. Rutgers, Marshall, Florida State, Louisville. Those are all the teams that they played on the road and did not score over 31 points. Here's the thing. Vanderbilt allowed more than 31 points 10 times last year. The only three teams that didn't make it over that threshold, Hawaii, Alabama A&M, and Auburn, which scored exactly 31. I got Virginia Tech winning big, and keeps leading back to their team total over 33.5. So I got Virginia Tech minus 13.5 and Virginia Tech team total over 33.5.
Man, I love it, dude. I would probably be doubling up also with you if it wasn't week one. Hey, my dude Big Show came in and said it's about time Daby got his own show, being one of the best cappers at pub. Look, I don't get into the who's better and who's better type thing, but I appreciate the hell out of you for that comment, Big Show. I'm going to tell you guys in the chat, since I started capping like on screen, all I wanted to do was sit here on Saturday mornings with you guys for college football. That's it. You know, I love baseball. I love college basketball. I love gambling. I'm a degenerate. But all I wanted was to be here with my guy Moose and you guys on Saturday mornings. And here we are. And I'm loving every second of it, even the spilled beer. Moose, one more time. You got Virginia Tech and then their team total, right?
Yeah, Virginia Tech and their team total. And let me go through Miami and Florida next.
Team total one more time. I'm sorry.
It was 33.5.
33.5. And what was the juice on that?
Actually, it was pretty damn good. I got that at plus 105.
Ooh, plus 105. So Moose is on Virginia Tech 13.5 and the team total 30.5 plus 105. Virginia Tech's the one consensus, right? A lot of these games we've had differing opinions. It seems like Virginia Tech is the one consensus that we've had across the board. Where are we rolling next? Because we're really chopping it close now.
Yeah, let me get Miami and Florida because that's where I got some player props. I got 3 player props in this game.
Beautiful.
All right, so here we go. You've already heard a lot of the stats and the information about who's coming back and the newness of it. So I'll just go ahead and give my straight up breakdown. Haven't had a game in the swamp since 2008 between Miami and Florida, but the last 4 games went under the Vegas total. Miami has lost 3 of their last 5 road openers, including 2 Florida in 2019, but Miami did cover. Prior to last year's loss to Utah, Florida had won 5 straight season openers. Napier has been a homebody coach, 9-5 in the swamp, 29-8 career while he was at University of Louisiana, but only 2-10 versus the top 25 with Florida and 3-14 overall. Cristobal is 5-5 on the road with Miami, but 27-40 in his career at FIU and Oregon. 1-5 versus top 25 with Miami, but 7-12 with FIU and Oregon. Mainly Oregon. He didn't win too many games at FIU. Both teams have had what should be very good rush defenses, but Miami has one of the best rush defenses in the country. Both secondaries should be improved, but is the weaker unit for both teams. Talent is on Miami's side. They absolutely have the talent. I like to bet talent, but I don't like Cristobal. His road woes worry me. Napier has done really, really well at home, and this is his best team. But I don't feel comfortable backing Mertz in a big game. But I definitely lean Florida. But I do feel confident that passing will be the plan of attack in this game. Jacoby George was a top touchdown target last year. 10 touchdowns, 8 receiving, 1 rushing, 1 return. Amid a season where Miami struggled in the red zone, even though Florida's secondary has significant length advantage with a lot of guys over 6 foot, 6'1", George and Restrepo are both seniors that know how to get open. Restrepo had the yards advantage going over 1,000, but George was the better touchdown option. Restrepo yards, George touchdown. Eugene Wilson is expected to be the number 1. Miami lost all their top talent in the secondary. They add talent, but not many with starting experience. I don't expect the group to be at its best right out the gate, so Eugene Wilson over receiving yards. This game is trended under. I lean that way. Decision was between passing yards or receiving yards. I have more confidence in the receivers, so I got George, touchdown. Restrepo, yards, over 81.5. Wilson, yards, over 61.5.
Hold on. I'm writing it all down. Over 81.5. Say the next one after Restrepo.
It was Eugene Wilson, yards over 61.5.
Okay, perfect.
The Jacoby George touchdown is at plus 110. Restrepo is at minus 113, and Wilson is at minus 115.
Beautiful. Those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I got it. And good news is I can always get these back from you. I got to make sure I've got everyone else's exact. But if I miss anything from you, you can add it on for me. We had a few questions roll into the chat. It is 10:35 my time, 11:35 on the East Coast, which means we've got 15 minutes. Am I right? Wait, I'm so bad at math. We've got 25 minutes until the Georgia Clemson game kicks off, and we will be live for it right here on Pub Sports Radio. I will be a little bit more intoxicated. I will probably have a joint lit. I will not be as focused, but we will be having a good time and we will be making money. We got a little bit more to do here. I want to hit a couple of my last bets. I'll recap everyone's bets, and I want to get into our moose droppings. This will be a section that I hopefully have a graphic for next week, but I want you guys to be able to ask your questions at the end of the show. And with the amount of time Moose puts into capping, he is absolutely the guy that should be going at it. So let's see what we got in here. I got Nate Dogg 420. He said, Moose, thoughts on Iowa State and Indiana games. So we got 3 questions for you. I guess it'll be kind of quick. It'll be kind of rapid fire, but
I mean, they're all playing FCS. So I do like all 3 of those teams. I have Iowa win total over. I have Iowa State win total over, and I have Indiana win total over. It's just a matter of how are they going to play against an opponent that they're not likely to ever see again in the season. I don't know about the number. It's always tricky. Iowa offense is going to be a little suspect potentially early, but I think that they're going to figure it out. That's going to be a very, very slow, methodical offense that moves down the field. I do like all those teams, but I wouldn't be trying to get on them week 1 when they're playing some FCS opponents. I would wait to get them against a team that you can really actually either get a good number or you're able to take them as a favorite in a situation where you actually know both teams and you don't have to kind of speculate what you're going to be seeing on an FCS team that I don't really cap FCS at all. It's all FBS. So I don't really have too much on that, but I do like all 3 of those teams over for their win total this year.
Okay. Tom Leach said, you got any huge, have you got a huge underdog you like ATS today? Any huge underdog?
I'm not sure if Clemson necessarily counts as that, as a huge underdog, but I do like Wyoming. We already talked about it a little bit at +7, and I did take the money line. I think they win straight out. I mean, I really do think that the money line bet could be the official play bet because I sprinkled it. But those would be the 2 teams. Hawaii is also interesting to me. I did take their team total over against UCLA. I'm betting that in week 0 against Delaware State that they were looking ahead to UCLA because they have not beaten a Power 5 team since hold on, I have the stat here real quick. But I mean, I do like Hawaii's passing game. It's just a matter of, is it a fluke that happened or was it something that they're actually just kind of looking forward to? They have not beaten a Power 5 team since 2019, and this is their best team in Chang's tenure. I don't know what happens when UCLA has the ball, but I feel Hawaii can score because UCLA brought in Eric Bieniemy, and that dude runs a super complicated offense, and he has new players at UCLA. So I have no idea what UCLA is going to do on their side of the ball, but I definitely think Hawaii team total is the way to go there.
Love it, man. Wine Time is super in tune with UCLA. I should have asked him about them. I will make sure that I do that.
I think he has UCLA because he kind of wants to fade what he saw in Hawaii against Delaware State.
Makes sense. Our guy Voodoo Ranger, you just gave out this guy's anytime touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. So I gave over receiving yards. I am on that.
Oh, yeah, that was you wrote it down.
I wrote it down, right? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, you wrote it down.
Yeah, I
also like Jacoby George to score a touchdow. He was a top touchdown target, and I think the way you're going to go attack him, I know Damian Williams is there, but Florida has massive D linemen. They got like 3-4 guys that are 6'6", 300+ pounds. They're going to be better in the rush defense. I think the way that both teams attack is going to be through the air. So if you want to attack secondaries, if you want to attack the player props with wide receivers, that's absolutely the way to go here.
Hey, keeping it rolling because we're running down to the end, but I want to get all you guys' questions in. Wow, shit, where did it just go? I just lost the one that I wanted to go. Somebody said the graphic for the moose dropping section is going to be elite. It is. The graphics for
better
that
be.
It'll be good. It'll be exactly what you think it is. So shout out to the moose droppings. While we finish these moose dropping questions, guys, if I miss your question, drop it again because I do not mean to miss anything. I see my guy Ron Lofton coming in. Good to see you, Ron Lofton. He's on Wyoming +7. Great capper right there. How do we feel about my guy Don Play? Good to see you back in here, Don Play. How do we feel about Miami, Ohio today, Mr. Boost?
Yep. I am on them first half. I couldn't get their full game because I think if they lose first half, they probably aren't going to be able to cover against Northwestern. Northwestern has been pretty damn good in second halves last year. So if they somehow win the first half, I think they kind of go. David Braun is 5-1 with Northwestern at home, but Northwestern has not done very well versus the MAC. They are 1-4 ATS. Miami, Ohio last year was one of the better first half teams. Northwestern was one of the worst first half teams. So I'm not sure if it's, ultimately I feel confident enough in Miami, Ohio full game, but I like them more first half, because if I lose the first half, I don't think they're covering the full game. I think the better team gets off to the better start. Northwestern has struggled to cover the first half the last 3 years. They are 0-3 the last 3 years in their first game of the year. And if you remember, Cab, maybe you don't want to. Maybe you don't want to remember this. But when they played in Ireland, Nebraska got out to the lead in the first half.
Fuck
and
you
then
for bringing
Northwestern,
this game up,
yeah, I know. And then Northwestern came back and won outright. So I like Miami, Ohio. Brett Gabbert's back somehow. Don't know if this is like his 20th year. I'm not sure if he used the Frank Harris loophole. They do lose their top workhorse in Amos, but they added in transfers, and they should be kind of switching to a committee. Their top receiver does leave, but 3 of their better receivers return. They have better depth. Their offensive line has 4 starters returning. I like Miami, Ohio right here, but I like them more in the first half.
Man, not something that I felt like I'd be saying live today, but shout out to Dick.
Hey!
Shout out to Dick coming through with the 1999 dono. He says, oh, hello. Oh, hello, Dick. Thank you for the donation, man. Shout out to you guys, all the members in the chat. Listen, I say it all the time, but we don't have a channel without you. There's no reason for us to be here if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you. The donations coming through, like my guy Dick, the members, all the people that are green. You're the reason why this channel stays alive. So if you like what we're doing here at Pub Sports Radio, think about maybe dropping a dono or becoming a member. The membership's super easy. You just hit the join in the description. And while we're at it, Moose, I should hit this too. If you're going to be gambling, go to Bet Online. Use promo code PubSportsRadio, and they will match you up to $1,000. 9 out of 10 people that have that deposit match, you have to use crypto to do it. That's not the case with us. You can just put in straight cash, and you'll get cash matched. You do not have to use crypto. We will match you up to $1,000 at Bet Online. Use promo code PubSportsRadio. Moose, I think we're here. Lucas, please highlight my last comment. I see you saying, please, Lucas. I got you.
It was Richard. He said Richard.
What?
He said Richard. Like, because you said shout out Dick is like, his name's Richard. I don't know.
Who said that?
Let's recap all of our action.
Yeah. I can't see it, Lucas. Drop it again if you can. I'm sorry, man. Lots of chats. Let's recap the action like my guy Moose said. I'm going to hit this kind of quick, Moose, because I want to hit everybody. I'm start with the chat. Lucas, speaking of, Penn State over 50. My guy TJ Perry came in. He dropped Penn State -7.5. Tom Leach dropped Virginia Tech -13.5. Drunk Euro Bama -30.5. Texas -30.5. Arizona -30.5. Perky Sanderson came in and gave out Penn State -3.5 plus Georgia -4. Our dude Wine Time came in, started the show with us, absolutely killed it. He gave out Virginia Tech -13.5. He is also on Miami -130 on the money line. Big Show Picks came in and gave us a little soccer to mix it up. I will fuck this up for sure, but Ireland Holland, 2 shots on goal, plus double chance Manchester at +108. So shout out to our dude Big Show right there. Where are the other bets? Hold on.
And when you get to mine, let me just roll through mine.
Yeah.
You don't need to recap it because I have way more bets than we didn't cover.
Guns Picks came on off the top, gave us 3 best bets. He gave us Arizona -30.5. He gave us the Jackrabbits ATS. He gave us Wyoming +7 ATS. Kong's Clips came through and killed it early. He gave us Georgia -12.5. He gave us Bama -30.5 at -138. And he gave us the under in the Notre Dame A&M game. I said that wrong earlier. My bad, Kongs. He's got the under in the Notre Dame A&M game. Nunya came through and gave us big plus money, our only +200 plus bet here. He gave us Oscar Delt, anytime touchdown, the tight end in the Georgia game. He gave us Virginia -19.5. And then we got young Jose Bouquet, who came through with 4 bets. Jose gave us West Virginia +7. He gave us the money line for West Virginia at +255. He gave us Clemson +11.5. And he gave us USC +4, along with the money line at +166. Moose, what's your action looking like today?
All right, I'm going to rapid fire through this since, I have a lot of action. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and add it to the Moose Droppings questions here. I got Penn State team total over 30.5. Kent State at Pittsburgh over 53.5. Clemson plus 14 in money line. Virginia Tech minus 13.5 and team total over 33.5. First half Miami money line. Boise State minus 13 and first half Boise State minus 6.5. UNLV money line, UNLV team total over 27.5, Hawaii team total over 21.5, and that's plus 120. That is plus 120. Notre Dame money line when I had early and I switched it, so I went first half. These are the official plays. Texas A&M under 22.5 and Texas A&M minus a half in the first half. Wyoming plus 7 with a little money line sprinkle. For player props, I know that there were some questions about player props. Jacoby George touchdown plus 110. Xavier Restrepo receiving yards over 81.5. Eugene Wilson receiving yards over 61.5. And Caleb Jackson rushing yards over 57.5. USC has a really bad rush defense. I think LSU's offense is going to convert more to a ground and pound because you don't have Jaden Daniels back there to be able to be a mobile quarterback. And that offensive line is still very, very good. So I do like Caleb Jackson rushing yards over 57.5. He should be the number one running back out there.
You guys thought we were playing when we said rapid fire. You thought we were joking when I said off the top we were going to bring you bets and we were going to be bet focused. No playing around here. It's all business. It's all money. I saw Dick became a member in the chat also. Thank you, Dick, for becoming a member. If anybody else can become a member or is a member, thank you. We really appreciate it. I saw one last question. This is the last one. And then, guys, just jump over to the live stream, okay? I'm going to be live for Clemson, Georgia. We don't have to keep the pace. So if I missed any questions or like my dude here in the chat, where was it? Eberk asked me to give him an MLB winner. How about you come in Clemson, Georgia, Eberk, and I'll have one for you right off the top. Come into the live stream with me and I got you. Moose, we didn't hit Syracuse. Is there anything you can say about Syracuse today before we wrap up and roll out?
Yeah, hold on. Let me check and see what I got in my little notey notes.
Andrew's on the same page as me. He said, oh, my God, it starts next. We're here, boys and girls. We fucking made it. Saturday college football.
All right, here we go. Maybe Syracuse early, but the Ohio secondary facing a brand new passing offense could be problematic for Syracuse. Syracuse is the far superior team, but an Ohio team that should limit big plays but do little on the scoreboard and make me look under. But Syracuse is a balanced offense that could literally run up the score. Stay off Syracuse early, but would be intrigued, but nothing I'd be confident in.
Love it. Moose, you got any last words for the chat before I wrap it up and get us out of here?
Yeah, I mean, I told Cab why the why behind what anybody does. This is coach speak. This is just coach speak. The why people do things is one of the most important letters of the alphabet. Your why is extremely important, and the why behind being here is because I love talking college football, and I don't get to talk about it with a lot of people. As a teacher, I have to talk to students, and students don't know college football. They know some of the big names, but they don't know the player props. They don't know some of the ATS trends. So I love being here, and I'm going to be here every week as much as I can because I love talking college football. And if you want, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this yet. It's rattling around in my brain. If you want access to my Google Doc where I have all of my breakdowns, DM me. Let's see if you're worthy, if I'm able to get you in there. Because
listen, I gotta. If Moose is genuinely offering that, I'll tell you right now. I bet some of you guys out there pay for shit and you don't get half of what you're gonna get from this. So if you're interested, I sat there and read through his whole breakdowns. It's outstanding. It's outstanding. Moose, I can't believe you're offering that to people.
Yeah, but it's just like I love talking it, and Wine Time and I talk all the time now, just different things. I love having dialogue about college football, and I have no problem with being able to disagree appropriately. I'm never gonna be like, you're a moron. How could you possibly like Georgia Southern today? Helton is a terrible. I'm never gonna be that guy. I'll just be like, hey, I can see where you're coming from, or I respectfully disagree. But I put a lot of effort into this. I put a lot of work onto my Google Doc and being able to break down all the games. I think I have 30 games that I broke down for this week. And it's something I care about a lot. So if you want access to that, DM me. We'll see if I can get you on it. Let's see if I can add you on. But I love being here, Cab. Thank you for offering this opportunity for me. I treasure it. I treasure being in here and be able to see people in the chat giving their plays. And really, we didn't do this, Cab, but if you have some TDs, some team totals, I want to show me your TDs. Show me your TTs. I want to see some TTs out there. Show me some TTs. I want to see some team totals. I already gave you some Hawaii and Virginia Tech and Penn State. Those are my TTs that you get to see. I want to see your TTs. Please show me more TTs. I want to see TTs.
I love it. We'll have the moose drop-ins. We'll have the show me your TTs ready to go next week. It's week 1, and we're here for it. We're live. We spilled beer on the computer. We drank it off the paper. We're here. We're here live with you guys, and we're ready to make some money. If you like the show, hit the like button, share it with somebody. Maybe leave us a comment afterwards, and tune in right now. In like 15 minutes, we're gonna be live. Clemson, Georgia. I love doing this with you guys. We will be back every Saturday doing the same thing. We will make adjustments. We will evolve. We will get better. We will grow. Because if you're not getting better, you're not doing shit, right? So here at Pub Sports Radio, the Tailgate, we're going to find a way to get better. We're going to bring you guys the best show that we can possibly bring you every Saturday morning right here. Thank you. Be back next week. Love you guys.